Help! I need help with my finances. Wait, I think I do. Wait, I know I do. Wait, or when do I? Hi, I'm Michelle with Financial Design Studio, and today that's exactly what we're going to talk about. When do you need a financial advisor? There are three common areas that are very large and broad that actually describe when you need to be working with a financial advisor. So first, when you don't have the time. This is really common because life gets busy. We have so much going on. We have so many hobbies. We have work projects that may drag on longer than the work hours. There's so many things we can do with our time. And so when you don't have the time, this is exactly what we do with our time. So you have an advisor who can help you because you just don't have the time to manage everything you need to. Secondly, when you don't have the interest. So this is very common. When there's something that you aren't interested about, maybe you don't even like it, you need someone to help you because our finances are very important. This is something we need to be paying attention to, but I just don't have the interest to do all the research. Well, good for you. This is actually when we enjoy doing all these things, and sometimes we call ourselves a little bit nerdy because we're really interested about finances and how everything works together and all of the strategies that are going to make your plan work and your money last. So interest is the second one. Next, when you need a financial advisor is when you just don't have the knowledge. Now this one can be really unique because there's so much knowledge that we all can have about money, and there's different ways that we use money. On our day-to-day shopping, just general basic needs, we're all probably very knowledgeable and we know how we should be handling our money. But on a bigger level, things like insurance or investments or taxes, we may not be as knowledgeable about. And so we just need someone who's spending their time staying up on all of the changes and the laws and the limits in each of these areas. And so their knowledge becomes really beneficial. And that's what we as financial advisors do. So any of these reasons to start off are reasons that you need to be working with a financial advisor. Now that you know you need a financial advisor and you should be working with one because you don't have the time, the interest, or the knowledge, any one of them, we need to figure out why we're not. So when we know that we need something, just because we know we need it, doesn't necessarily mean that we follow through on that. And sometimes there's some reasons. So let's talk about 3 misconceptions or 3 myths about why we don't work with a financial advisor when we know we need it. So first, it could be because we think that a financial advisor, in order to work with one, they only sell products. And while this used to be the case, so if we think back historically, when you would work with someone with your finances, it might be to buy an insurance policy, or you might have even bought investment products with them. So for example, if you wanted to buy a mutual fund or a stock, you might pay a fee to meet with someone to do that. So it really felt like you were buying a product. But in today's world, you can work with a financial advisor who is not selling you any products. They might be fee-only financial advisors. The second misconception or myth is that they don't have your best interest in mind. And so what we call this word is a fiduciary, and this means just that. This means that these advisors who are a fiduciary are actually required and legally bound to have your best interest in mind. That's what we want to do. We want to be creating plans that have your best interest, that are going to create the best outcome for you, not ours. And so you can know that there are advisors who are working in this way, not to earn more money for themselves, because they might actually give you advice that doesn't make sense to where they would make less, but it's because that's what's best for you. That's how you can know if you're working with an advisor, if they're a fiduciary. And then lastly, maybe you just think that it costs too much or you don't have enough money. So we'll just say not enough money. Now, this is really important because in order to work with a financial advisor, you really just need money or income. And so anyone can be working with a financial advisor. There's lots of different types and ways that you can. So just because you don't think you have enough and you can't afford it, that isn't true. So these are 3 myths that we can just put to the side, because today there are people you can work with to avoid all of these misconceptions or reasons for why you're not going to get started. But let's talk about a couple more ways besides just your time, interest, and knowledge of why you might want to work with an advisor. So for example, we've got our 3 over here, but we're going to add another one, and this is when things are just more complex. So for example, you may have a job where you're starting to get more employee benefits. Think stock options, employer stock, a pension, deferred compensation, any of these things. You might be a high income earner or a corporate executive where these employee benefits are starting to become available to you. So things are just getting a little more complex, and you want to make sure that you have a plan and a strategy to handle those for taxes and for your future, so that you're doing the best you can to keep as much money as possible. And then another time when you want to be sure that you're working with an advisor is when you've had financial times in the past. So we're going to call this maybe financial stress, or maybe even trauma. So maybe this was your family or your spouse's family, or maybe anytime you talk about money with your spouse, it never goes well. Those are times when it's great to bring in a financial advisor, because they can just bridge that gap between the two of you. Maybe one of you is saying one thing, someone else is saying the same thing, but just in a different way, and you need someone that can just help you communicate to accomplish what it is that you're both trying to do. So these are areas that are really common with these financial situations or stress around money. It's just that you need help. And this could be even someone who is used to spending more, or maybe there's a lot of debt, or maybe you just don't know what to do. And because you don't know what to do, it's causing communication problems. And then the last time when you might need to work with a financial advisor, and this might actually be one of the biggest, is that you just don't know the answer. How commonly do we have a question and we just don't know the answer and how it applies to our situation? So we just keep thinking and we just don't do something about it, because we have these thoughts in our mind and we wonder, will I have enough for retirement? Will I be able to fund my kids' college education? Am I choosing the right health insurance plan for me? Am I choosing the right employee benefits? We just don't know the answer. And so when you don't know the answer, you can get help from someone who does and who can help you find the right answer. So if you've decided that you need a financial advisor and now you're ready to get started, feel free to go to our website and learn more about us and how we work with our clients. Or you can also listen to our podcast where we talk about savings, spending, investing, and many more topics in much more depth.